Hola, ¿cómo está Las Vegas? Welcome to the Conservative American with Chris Garcia. I'm so blessed to be here with you today. Thank you for watching my show, and I hope you enjoyed Thanks to Tribune with Orlando LaRosse. That was on from 12 to 1. I will be with you today from 1 to 1:30. Once again, we are sponsored by Mails by Renee. And for $10 a month, you can have a fabulous downtown Las Vegas address and go to see Cian, the manager. And for $10 a month, you can be amongst all of the lawyers down here in Las Vegas, right off of 10th and Charleston. For $10 a month, you can have a wonderful downtown Las Vegas address. And the number is 702-626-0716. 702-626-0716. 57 degrees today in Las Vegas, and the temperature is going to be dropping. I'm so blessed to have this show and this opportunity. And today I want to talk to you about building the wall. That is very important to me. And I think that Donald Trump is going to build that wall. And I think that he's going to put more Border Patrol agents on the southern state borders of Arizona, California, New Mexico, and Texas. I think it is extremely, extremely important. You see what happened at the Ohio State University with the Somalian kid who was a student and ran his car into a bunch of students on campus, got out with a big butcher knife and stabbed 10 people, one critically. And just luckily we had an excellent police officer that was there on campus and immediately responded and shot the Somalian kid dead with 3 shots and probably saved countless lives by doing what he did. And it just goes to show you all Donald Trump was talking about is when you have these radical Islamists, which is exactly what they are. They are radical Islamists. They are people that are, I know a lot of Muslims. I know a lot of people that have studied Islam. I've studied it myself. It is a peaceful religion, but you have people. You have these radical Islamists, these jihadists, who have taken over the religion and have made it about killing Americans. And let's make no mistake about it, that's exactly what it is. It's about killing Americans, it's about killing Christians, it's about imposing their will on women, it's about discriminating against gays and lesbians. Let's call it what it is. It is radical Islamists, something that Barack Obama, he won't even say those words. Donald Trump will, and the generals will that he is hiring in his administration. That's exactly what it is. And yet we have these liberals and Nancy Pelosi, who, God bless her, I'm glad that she won again, because it's just going to make the liberals lean to the left even more than they already have. But that is exactly what is going on. And, you have people that won't even say the words radical Islamists, but that's exactly what they are. And they are terrorizing our country. They're coming in over the border. Especially our southern border. I think they're coming in through Canada as well. And all Donald Trump wants to do is just say that, hey, these people should have a background check done on them before they come into our country. What is so wrong with that? I don't understand that. Like I've said in the past, if you go to any other country, they have borders. They have border patrol. They have places that they have check-in zones. You go to Europe, you go to South America, you go to other countries. They actually protect their country more than the United States. We have 310 million people here. We have thousands and thousands of miles of border, and yet we're doing nothing about it. We have people coming in from these African terrorist countries, from the Middle East. I believe that they're going to use Mexico to smuggle in some of their people, and we know nothing about them. We won't vet these people coming into the country, because we don't want to be politically incorrect. We don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. Well, when you have people getting stabbed at the Ohio State University and people getting killed in nightclubs, and make no mistake about it, they always want to say, well, they're a lone ranger. They're not a lone ranger. They're not getting their ideas by themselves. This kid had gone back and forth to Somalia. He had gone back and forth to where ISIL is. And they're not lone wolves. They're agents. And they don't want to say that because it'll scare the American people. But that's exactly what they are. They are trained agents. They are terrorists. They are radical Islamists. And they're coming through our Mexican border. They're coming through our northern border. And they're not being vetted. And they're not being investigated. And they're not being followed. And they should. 18 of the 19 hijackers on 9/11 were on the FBI watch list. And so why aren't we watching these people? Why aren't we vetting these people? because they present a danger to the American people. And that's all I care about. I care about the American people and our safety in our cities. Look what happened in the Boston Marathon, and just on and on and on. You have these radical jihadists, these radical Islamists, terrorists, killers coming into our country through our borders, and they are, killing American citizens, stabbing American citizens, and shooting American citizens, shooting our police officers, shooting our state troopers, and people don't even want to talk about it. And I think that's one of the main things that Donald Trump is going to do, is he's going to secure our borders. Our borders need to be secured. We need more manpower. We need more funding. We need to build that wall. We need to build protective fences where you cannot build a wall, because I know just, strategically there are some places where you can't have a wall, but where you can, I definitely think that he needs to build one. And I do think that, Mexico is going to be our partners in trade and in otherwise. They should pay for some of the wall. I don't think people think that it's outrageous that he said that, but they absolutely, if they're going to be our partners and they want secure borders the same that we do, then they should be our partners in paying for it. I think when he said that Mexico is going to pay for it, what he's saying is that Mexico is going to pay their part of the wall. It shouldn't just be all the United States paying for the wall. They should have to pay for their part too. But make no mistake about it, I will talk about that many, many, many times to come. We need to secure our borders. We need to build that wall. Donald Trump is absolutely right. Stop listening to these left-wing liberals who are telling you that we should have open borders. We should have open borders. So when 2,000 or 3,000 more Americans get killed in a dirty bomb or a 9/11 style attack, do you know what everybody will say? We build a wall, please. We need to keep Americans safe. That's what Donald Trump has been saying. We need to build a wall before it happens, not after. We don't need to be reactionary in this subject. We need to be progressive. We need to be proactive. We need to build a wall now. We need to begin that wall. And what it also sends, a lesson, it sends a message around the world that we are not playing, that we are not going to let you come in our country and kill our people and nothing's going to happen. That there are going to be checkpoints. You will be vetted. We will ask you why you are entering our country, for what reason, and absolutely it's something that needs to be done. Listen, my mother came from Cuba. She came here legally, and she waited her turn to come here. My dad was an American citizen from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and he had to wait for his wife to come here legally. And my dad was in the military, and he still had to wait for his wife to come here legally. So make no mistake about it. You should have to stand in line with everybody else and wait to come here legally and get your documents and get your work visas and do it legally. You should not just be able to come up through an open border, because honestly, it's not racist. I'm not a racist, and I'm not against one group or the other. I'm for the American people. And so anybody or any threat that's against America, I consider myself a patriot, and I consider myself a nationalist, and I consider myself a lover of the United States of America. I put the United States of America first. And I believe Donald Trump does as well. And I believe we have to secure our borders. Stop letting these illegal aliens, these illegal criminals who have been proven, some of them, to come here, rape people, kill people, and they're not even supposed to be here. Could you imagine doing that in another country? Could you imagine going to Germany or Russia or, any other country, killing citizens in that country, raping citizens? You know what would happen to you? In Russia, you'd be put in a gulag. You know what happened to you in Germany? Do you know what would happen to you in Brazil or some other countries? Look what's happened to some of our American citizens, or you'd be accused of being a spy. Look what happens to American citizens all the time. We go overseas and never come back to America, are jailed, or we have to send special lawyers and special defenders just to go over there and get people to come back home, because their countries don't play. When you affect the people in their country, when you're accused of murdering the people in their country, you never see the light of day again. They don't expedite you back to this country. They put you under the jail. So why are we so open to have people come in here and do harm to our American citizens? And then they have rights. They have more rights than we do. Some of these terrorists and these killers, they're treated better than we are, than the American citizens. You go out right now as an American citizen and murder someone, or harm someone, or do a terrorist attack. Look at how you're treated. You're guilty before you ever get to court. Yet these people we coddle and we make excuses, and he's a lone wolf, and he's misguided, and his brain was filled up with a bunch of nonsense because he went back to his country, and oh, we should feel so sorry for them. We shouldn't feel sorry for them. Let's call them what they are. They're radical Islamic terrorists. They are killers. They should not be coddled. They should have their day in court because that's how the American justice system works. But make no mistake about it, they should be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, and they should have been vetted before they were ever allowed to come in here. And I think he's going to build that wall. I think America should get ready for it. I think that is a campaign promise that he made, and I think that's one of the ones in the first couple of 100 days that he's in office. He's going to try and raise the funding, and he is going to talk to the Mexican officials about getting that wall built. I believe he's going to do it. A lot of people don't think he is, but I think the economic recovery and the safety of this country go hand in foot. I think you have to have a safe country to economically recover, produce jobs, bring jobs back to this country, but you have to protect your country. We have to have borders, and we have to have a wall, and I think Donald Trump is going to do both of those. If you saw, he met with the executives of Carrier, who make the #1 air conditioning company in the world in the state of Ohio and Indiana, and he has already met with them, and they are reversing their thought process about taking their plants to Mexico to build air conditioners there. And that's just the beginning. He's the president-elect. President Obama would have let that company leave the United States of America, along with hundreds of other companies that he is allowed to flee the United States to go make an extra buck in another country. And nothing is done about it. And they turn around and sell these products back to the American people. That is an unfair playing field. But that is a subject for another day and another show. We will talk about the unfair trade agreements that we have made with these countries, NAFTA and TCP and these other trade agreements that Donald Trump is going to rip up and start over again. But we absolutely have to have our borders secure. There's no doubt about that. And I know Donald Trump is going to do everything that he possibly can to secure our borders. That's just a very big subject to me. I don't know how many of you Americans watched. I remember exactly where I was at in my house here in Las Vegas when 9/11 happened. I could not believe. I watched the buildings come down. I watched the events take place, and I was absolutely stunned. I could not believe what I was seeing before my eyes, that we had allowed this to happen. And that's the first thing that I felt. I felt like we had allowed this to happen, that our government had allowed us to be attacked. And thankfully, we had a strong mayor in Rudolph Giuliani, America's mayor, who did a fantastic job, along with all the NYPD, the police officers, and the fire department. And they were there at ground zero, and they helped, keep America safe in one of the craziest moments in our American history. I mean, people didn't know how many more planes were coming in, what was going on, but you almost felt helpless at that time because you didn't know what was going on. And you felt like, man, our people, our government, our border had let us down. And, I just don't ever want to cut on my TV again and see Americans falling out of buildings, see Americans burning up in buildings. I don't ever want to see that again. It was horrible. And I still have nightmares about it. I have many friends that worked in the Twin Towers. I had friends that were in New York. I lost friends on that day. It was a horrific day. And it was something I really don't talk about. I don't like to talk about, but, you felt like your government had let you down a little bit. How could this happen? How could these people come here and take flying lessons? How could these people get on these planes with box cutters and with weapons to take the people hostage and to fly these planes into buildings? How could this happen in the United States of America? Well, that's what Donald Trump is talking about. If you don't vet these people coming from Somalia and these people coming from Iraq and Syria and Afghanistan, and you don't even want to talk to them and ask them, they're coming from ISIL communities. They're jihadists. Some of these people coming here are not coming here to work. They're not coming here to be American citizens. They're coming here to infiltrate our country and to do harm to the American people. What's wrong with saying that? If I have to be politically correct, well, then you're going to come and you're going to take me out of here and you're going to shoot me in the head because I'm never going to be politically correct. I'm about keeping American people safe. And I think that it's a shame that people just won't call it what it is. I mean, 8 years of an administration that won't say radical Islamists, that won't say radical Islamic terrorists. That is exactly what they are. I call them killers. Let's just cut right to the chase. They're killers, and they should be dealt with accordingly. And the only reason they should have their day in court is because that's the way the American justice system. Because if you did this in another country, the firing squad would take you out and shoot you, and they wouldn't even pay for the lawyers and wouldn't even pay for the trial. But because every person, no matter what, and that's what makes our country great, is innocent until proven guilty, those killers should absolutely get their day in court, but they should absolutely be dealt with swiftly and prosecuted to the fullest extent and treated as the terrorists and traitors that they are. That's how they should be treated. Our borders need to be secure, people. I don't care if you're a liberal, conservative, Democrat, independent, Republican. This is for the United States of America. This is for all people. The borders should be secure. You should not allow these people to come over here who do not have America's best interests at heart. If you're coming over here and you don't plan to hurt our country, then why can't you wait in line? Why can't you fill out paperwork? Why can't you be asked a few questions? Let me tell you something. If I was trying to come here and I was a foreigner and you wanted to ask me a few questions, if I loved America and I wanted to be here and I see the land of fruit and the land of honey and the land of opportunity and the land of jobs for me and my family to live a better life than the country I'm coming from, you could ask me all the questions that you wanted, and I wouldn't be afraid to answer every single one of them. And wouldn't care how long the process. And I'm coming from some of these war-torn countries like Syria, and I am a refugee, and I'm trying to keep my family safe. And the United States of America is nice enough to open up their arms and take me in. You could ask me all the questions that you want. My father always used to say, if you have nothing to hide, then you wouldn't mind answering the questions. So what is the problem with vetting people? What is the problem with finding out why these people are here and what they're doing in our country? I think that that's just common sense. It's 57 degrees today in Las Vegas, a beautiful sunny day. We have 58 days until Donald Trump becomes president of the United States, and he is filling out his cabinet very quickly. He still hasn't made the decision between Mitt Romney and Rudy Giuliani. Also, General Petraeus is also one of the people that could possibly be Secretary of State. I believe myself he's leaning more toward Mitt Romney. I just have a feeling. I know that a lot of Trump supporters won't like that. A lot of the people in my audience will not like that decision. But I think that he looks at Mitt Romney. He has a calming sort of demeanor. I think he's more worldly than the other people. I think he's used to doing business in other countries. And I think that I believe this, and I keep telling people this, he likes people that have a different perspective than his perspective. And I think that that is the testament of a leader, is that you can have people in your room, you can have people sitting right next to you that don't agree with you, but they're intelligent and you like to listen to what they have to say, and it helps form your opinion. It doesn't form your opinion, but he likes different people with different views because it helps to form a more broad perspective. And when you're Secretary of State, you have to have a broad perspective when you're dealing with other countries and other leaders. So even though I know people are calling for Giuliani because he was very loyal to Donald Trump, I'm sure Mr. Trump will find a place in his administration for Rudy Giuliani. But I believe that Mitt Romney right now is the leader, and they're going to have dinner again, I think, tomorrow. And I believe he is the leader to be Secretary of State. And I think you should have faith in Donald Trump, that this man knows how to make decisions. Look at the decisions he's already made for his cabinet. Look at his pick for Vice President Mike Pence. I mean, the man is very impressive. Every time that you hear him and see him on TV, it's just amazing. This guy is, to me, he's very presidential himself. I could see him becoming president after Donald Trump. We'll talk about that another day. Just thank you, so much for listening to my show. We're getting hits all over the country. People are calling in again. I am on from 1 to 1:30 following Face the Tribune with Rolando Larraz. You can also Google that show and watch that show 24 hours a day. That's Face the Tribune with Rolando Larraz. That's from 12 to 1 o'clock Pacific time, Monday through Friday, followed by my show. The Conservative American with Chris Garcia, which is on from 1 to 1:30 Pacific time, Monday through Friday. You can call in. I would love to hear from you. You can call into the show 702-983-0711. That's 702-983-0711. And you can talk to me live, and you can talk to Rolando LaRosse, and we would love to hear from you. We love to hear from different views. You can come in. We have so many exciting guests on Face the Tribune, and so many exciting guests on the Conservative American with Chris Garcia coming up for you this month. This show is growing. It's the fastest growing conservative show on YouTube and the fastest streaming radio show. We stream live. www.radiotribune.com, www.radiotribune.com, and we stream live, Face the Tribune from 12 to 1, and Chris Garcia, the Conservative American, from 1 to 1:30. You can punch that up on your phone, your tablet, your computer, and listen to us live. We are working on an FM deal. I believe the station will be 94.7. That's coming up also soon, so you'll be able to catch us on FM. But we are the fastest growing conservative show in the United States of America, and no pun to my friend Alex Brown and others, but we are growing very fast. And again, you can call in 983-0711, 702-983-0711, 1 to 1:30 Pacific time, and you can talk to me live on the air. I just thank you so much for your support. The show is growing. I'm seeing the views. I'm seeing the hits. I'm getting the text. Look me up on Facebook, also the Conservative American, Chris Garcia. And you also can look up Cian Garcia, who's the producer of the show, and you can tell her what you think about the show. Look us up on Facebook. We soon will be on Twitter as well, and you can follow us on Twitter. But it's just very important, ladies and gentlemen, people of our country, that we build that wall. It's very important that we secure our country, secure our borders, and we need to back up our Border Patrol agents on our southern border. They need help. They need weaponry. They need facilities. They need to be backed up down there. It's a fight. I mean, they're fighting twofold. They're fighting illegal immigrants. They're fighting drugs that are coming into our country. That is a very difficult job. It's a job that's not talked about. I believe the veterans that come back to this country and are mistreated, and our Border Patrol agents are two of the biggest. And we're going to have vets coming on pretty soon on some of my shows. I'm going to let them speak out to America about how they've been treated, especially during the Obama administration. I know that's something very important to our producer here, Cian. She has always talked about the troops and how they're treated and their facilities and how they're taken care of when they come back. She thinks that that's going to be a very important thing in the Trump administration. And it's another one of the reasons that our producer here, Cian, supported Donald Trump from day one when she started hearing him talk about the treatment of the vets. And that was very important to her, and also bringing jobs back to the United States of America. So, I mean, there's so many positive things that are happening because Donald Trump is our president-elect. I cannot wait. I'm very excited for his first 100 days in office. I think he's going to get a lot done. If you all saw Nancy Pelosi again won her little mini election to continue to be Democratic leader, I think that's fantastic because I think the Democratic Party, as we know it, is done in our country, and I just love her. I hope that they keep her as leader. I think that they should hire Hillary Clinton to do something in the party too, and they can just continue to go downhill. We'll win more House seats, more Senate seats, and after 8 years of Donald Trump, I believe Mike Pence will be a president. So keep those nuts from San Francisco and those wacky liberals, keep Nancy Pelosi in control of the Democratic Party, and it will continue to go down. And conservative Republicans, we will take our country back, and that map will be more red in 4 years than it was during this election. Very important, though, support Donald Trump, continue to send him a message to build that wall, keep Americans safe, keep these radical Islamists out of our country. That is very important to me. I'm tired of cutting on the TV and seeing our people get chopped down by these terrorists. And make no mistake about it, they are not lone wolves. They are people that go and educated in these ISIL camps and come back and they're going to do harm to our American citizens. Build that wall, and I will talk about that again on another day. Thank you for joining me today at Katanga Buen Dia, and thank you for watching my show. God bless America. God bless our troops all over the world. You're always in our prayers because you're away from your family, and I understand that. And Godspeed to Donald Trump. I will see you tomorrow from 1 to 1:30. And remember to watch Face the Tribune tomorrow from 12 to 1 o'clock with Rolando Velaz. God bless you, and I will see you tomorrow.